Hi, and welcome back to Thone's Nibbles number 189, 2 Thessalonians 2, the coming of the wicked. That's not a good thing. There's a lot of text here. I'll be reading 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 1 through 8. So eight verses today. Now, brethren, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our gathering together to him, we ask you not to be soon shaken in the mind or troubled, either by spirit or by word or by letter, as if from us, as though the day of Christ had come. Let no one deceive you by any means, for that day will not come unless the falling away comes first, and the man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he sits as God in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Do you not remember that when I was still with you, I told you these things? And now you know what is restraining, that we may be revealed in his own time. For the mystery of lawlessness is already at work. Only he who now restrains will do so until he has taken out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, we got some end time prophecy here, which is kind of unusual in some of the letters. Why is it in the Bible? Part of our understanding of the end times. It's written for all believers, and the communication is that which signifies the end. Application to my life. The evil one will eventually appear, but not until certain events are in place. The Lord will only tolerate his usurpation for a brief time. God says, be vigilant. And my personal response is, Lord, allow us to know events and times so that we may be prepared for this time, if indeed it comes in our lifetime. And that's what we have to remember. The whole thing here is that there is a series of events which are going to take place, and the exact order of those events is is significantly debated. And in particular, when the rapture will come, there are the pre-trib people who believe that the rapture will come before the tribulation comes. Maybe shortly before, but definitely before. And there are others who believe that the first half of the tribulation we will still be on earth, and then the rapture will come at or about the middle of the 7-year tribulation period. And those are called mid-trib people. And there are a few who believe that the rapture doesn't come until the end of the tribulation, and they're called end-trib people. In my own experience, I haven't had a good explanation of the third of those three, so I'm just going to say just a bit about the other two. The pre-trib people believe that that there will come a time, but they believe that all of the tribulation is attributable to Satan, and therefore God takes His people, as they, the number of people that at that time are saved people, to heaven to protect them from that tribulation. The mid-trib people, on the other hand, think that the rapture happens at the middle, and so that some of the things, the bad things that happen, how can I say this? The bad things that happen before the rapture are caused by Satan, whereas the bad things that happen afterwards are the punishments of everybody that's left by God. So, in one case, it's God is masterminding the whole thing, and all of the bad things that are happening are Him punishing those who did not believe, because the ones who believed are gone. So that's one thing, and then the other way, it's sort of Satan starts the war, so to speak, and then before God gets into it and starts punishing, He takes away His people. So that's the essence of the argument, and heaven only knows that it's a difficult discussion at any level, and I certainly don't want to pretend that I want to tackle that one in what is really just a brief daily devotional. We'll learn from this point on in the lessons, these devotional lessons, there will be mention of such thing, because we're approaching some rather short epistles, and then, we're already in sort of short epistles, and then there's more short epistles, there's some really short epistles, and then there's Revelation. And in Revelation, we of course will definitely be revisiting some of these concepts, but I'm not here to offend anybody, because there are lots of good arguments for pre-trib and mid-trib, and so these are things that good Bible scholars don't all agree with too. And this certainly is not a salvation point by any means, because it relates to the future of saved people, not to the salvation of other people, really. And so it's not a salvation point, and there are good theological minds who come down on both sides of this. So I just wanted to explain a little bit of that when we, as we go along from this point on, we're going to be seeing a little more and more of this sort of writing, and then we'll get to Revelation, and we'll see a lot of this kind of writing. Really, this is more addressed in completion in the some of the great prophets of the Old Testament. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Certainly, all of those have a part, and then some of the minor prophets, and they aren't. Their true words aren't any more or less true. The minor prophets. It's just that they didn't write so much. but those four I mentioned wrote a whole lot, and dealing with, in particular, this kind of thing. And you think of Daniel in particular, who, by the way, I'm doing on my large series right now. I'm coming up on Daniel chapter 3. He is one of the key figures to understanding a lot of this. So, at any rate, feel free to look at that. It's on the same, if you subscribe to my channel, which doesn't cost you anything, doesn't tell me anything, really. It's not something that I'm going to make any money out of, although lots of people do, but they have to have 1,000 people subscribe just to begin. So, and I suspect that that's never going to happen with me. So, if you just subscribe to my channel when you're watching one of these, then you can go look on my channel and see all of the things that are there, and they include a lot of other material that was written over the last 3 years. So, with that, I will say have a good day, and I will see you next time.